It's another Upsnarch video. Take two. So let's talk about my guiding philosophy on buying things, heavily related to my project that I'm working on now. And then I'll walk you through the practical steps that I take to buy things consciously. Fundamentally, I believe in quality over quantity and reduce before reuse, way before recycle. I have to practice being conscious because it is the convenient norm to just buy something new, but it's not the best for the environment or for your pocketbook or wallet. So reduce the purchase of new materials and reduce the desire to buy things for the sake of buying things, because there's a cost associated with buying a new item. The energy and natural resources that are used to create something new are just too much. Unfortunately, the materials economy is designed for planned and perceived obsolescence. And planned obsolescence, we know. Perceived obsolescence is conniving because it's like the trends that we see that make us think like what we have is not good enough. And that's not necessarily true. And a lot of companies that are claiming to be sustainable, which like they might be sustainable, but remember the root of sustainable is sus. The definition of sustainability is can be maintained at a certain level. If I have something that's perfectly good and useful, I need to really ask why I feel like I need to buy this. Because buying a new model of something is not sustainable. If you have something that works, buying a new item, even if it's made sustainably, is not a sustainable practice. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know how else I can say that. Okay, so you've reduced. Congratulations. This is a huge step. Except you still want to buy things. And you still need things. Reuse. Thrift stores, estate sales, the scrap exchange. Hopefully you have a scrap exchange near you. Small disclaimer. There's a lot of temporal privilege that comes with needing an item, being able to wait for it, and being able to take your time to look for it in a thrift store. Do what you can. Do what you can. So my reuse practices follow my philosophy of material quality. And I use those same principles if I have to buy new, because there's so much stuff out there. All of my quality over quantity principles, all of my material quality principles are things that I think about and consider. And being able to stop and ask yourself these questions is what being conscious is all about. So first is, what is the object made out of? The first rule is no plastic. I prefer wood, metal, natural fibers, leather. Is it minimally processed is another question that I ask that goes along with material, because particle board is wood. It's just like chopped up and held together with glue. But that is a lot of processing that goes into it. The next thing I think about is, can it eventually be composted, recycled, turned into something else? Can it be taken apart or safely burned? Thinking through to the end of that product's like life cycle. Plastic, again, is a big no on all of these fronts. The next thing I ask is a 3-part thing. How do I maintain it? Can it be repaired, and how does it wear? Thinking about maintenance indicates longevity. It's that I don't have to buy another one in 6 months. Plastic, things made of wood, leather, glass, metal, those can all be maintained. Once you get a groove in a plastic cutting board once you really mangle it up, what's great about wooden cutting boards is you get to sand it down, re-oil it. I haven't bought a cutting board in 8 years because I just keep re-sanding and re-oiling my wooden one every year, year and a half. And then, can it be repaired? If something breaks, you can repair that. Or, if you don't feel like doing it, you can pay someone else to do it. You're still putting money into the economy in services. Hopefully it's someone local and you're not tapping into new materials or the energy that it takes to process, manufacture, ship new materials. And then how does it wear? Have you ever seen laminate covered particle board where one day you put a glass down without a coaster and that was the end of it? Again, wood cutting board, sand it down, refinish it. It's never going to look bad because wear actually looks good. Like something having patina and age looks good. With particle board, you can't do that. You can't do that with plastic. It sucks. Moving on. Was it made locally? This is especially a good question to ask if you're buying something new, because if it's local, transportation costs and shipping is not a big deal, and you're supporting someone in your community. Like, our money goes a lot further and does much less environmental harm. So there's that. The next thing, which is less of a quality and more of a over quantity consideration. Do I know someone who has this item? Consider borrowing something, especially if you don't use it that often. So in conclusion, for a little bit I struggled with I'm just one person, what difference am I going to make? But the reason why I started thinking this way is because I had a friend who was thinking this way and talked about it and shared these ideas with me. And now I talk about it to other people. And I start seeing these trends of people like not buying new, like recognizing that new stuff is not well made because of planned obsolescence. And your drop in the bucket is way more impactful than you think. That's basically it.